Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, Father, we don't need to escalate.
War is not the answer. For only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Ooh, what's going on? What's going on?
Judge us just because our hair is long. You know we've got to find a way, bring some understanding here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me. Can see, oh, what's going on? Ooh, what's going on? Just tell me what's going on. Ooh, what's going on?
Yeah, that's a great question. What's going on? Good morning. Our opening words today are the words of Miss Brene Brown. She reminds us that you and I are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love. She says, when those needs are not met, however, we don't function as we were meant to. We break. We fall apart. We numb. We ache. So let us go for the gusto for our next time today, this morning. No aching. No hurting. Acknowledging our cognitive, biological, physical, and spiritual connection. Can we do that out loud and on purpose? Yeah. Thank you so much. Take a look in your order of service for our shared affirmation of our mission, why we show up. And please join me and let us say it together. This fellowship is a welcoming, diverse, and nurturing beloved community that promotes progressive religious thought and practice to create a more loving, just, and sustainable world. I love that last word. The whole thing, man. So let us, welcome ourselves to what I call our umbrella. For the chalice reminds me of the umbrella under which this congregation and some thousand fellowships around the world gather. But with the kindling of this flame, let us recommit ourselves to accepting life's gifts with grace and with gratitude, and to use those gifts to bless the world, that word again, in a spirit of love. May it be so.
We might get emotional on this song. I love this song.
Yeah.
The road is long, with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where, But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't happy. He's my brother. So on we go.
His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he will not encumber me.
He ain't happy. He's my brother.
If I'm late at all, I'm laden with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love.
On our way to there, why not share? And the storm doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy, not heavy at all. He ain't heavy, not heavy at all. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. He's my brother. He's my brother. Steps on
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
Yeah, give it up for Sister Maya. We rise. So good morning again. Gracious ones, and you know what I use sometimes, I say, and the rest of y'all too, we don't want to leave nobody out, so welcome. Welcome you in the name of the ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand, and I welcome you in the name of all, and I do mean all, that is holy and sacred for you. For me, the words from our fellow church in Dublin, Ireland, as best as we can tell. Those words that first heard those words in this room. My colleague, Reverend Glenn Farley, said at one time, I never let it go. This is how it goes. We do not ask what you believe or expect you to think the way we do, but only that you try to live a kind and helpful life with the dignity proper to that of a human being. So welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinion, including my own. Be clear. Welcome all who might find in this fellowship strength and encouragement for daily living. Because as I like to say, it don't mean a thing
If it ain't got that swing.
Thank you very much. Stuff we can use as we...
Duke Ellington and the school.
Yeah.
That was Duke Ellington School for the arts.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It don't mean a thing.
that's right. Yeah. The Duke, I was listening to the Duke. He said he was born in 1956, which is a tale. You know, he's way before that. But that was the Newport Jazz Festival, where his work was finally recognized for the depth that it encompassed the time he was here on the planet with us. Bless his soul. So today's sermon is entitled Critical Race Theory. You might have heard it bantered about, as Eddie mentioned this morning. I want to do a little more bantering. So in my description of today's sermon, I asked the question about how do we understand American racism, how did it shape public policy, or is it just a divisive conversation that pits people of color versus white folks? Whoosh. So picture's worth it. I want to leave you with an image. This is a book, the book, on critical race theory. I want you to see the size of this book. This is critical race theory. I only got 20 minutes today. But I'm going to try to give it a little best shot I can. But I want to read you. We've fallen up with Maya, so a little Cornell West might be in order. Critical race theory is the most exciting development in contemporary legal studies. The most exciting development in contemporary legal studies. Of course, this is back in the 90s. This comprehensive movement in thought and life, created primarily, though not exclusively, by intellectuals, progressive intellectuals of color. It compels us to confront critically, here it goes, the most explosive issue in American civilization, which is what I believe, by the way, which is a lot of reasons why I'm in your face every Sunday that you see me, if you ever wonder. What is that? The historical centrality and complicity of law in upholding white supremacy and concomitant hierarchies of gender and class and sexual orientation. That's the hierarchy that we want to call out, have to call out. Circling back a little more to CRT, there are a couple of principles about it that I would love you to walk away with that distinguish it from a lot of conversations. One is its total dismissal of the colorblind theory. Colorblind theory that really got large during the Reagan era when all reference to race was taken out of law, considered divisive. So CRT, critical race theory, offers a replacement for that colorblind theory. This approach, it just flies in the face of what I would call reality. The reality that you and I and all of us are racially biased. Let it go. It's okay. Consciously or unconsciously. Trust me on that. Now, there's a distinction. Allow me to draw a distinction between racial bias, racism. This is about attitude, behavior. I don't like white folks. I don't like black folks. I don't like gay folks. I don't like straight folks. Whatever your thing is, or whatever versions of that you've got, this ain't that. That's yours, you can have that. The racism we're talking about is systemic. It is there by law. By law. This is about power. Power. Power over, based on race, class, gender, or sexual orientation. And over a very long period of time. Those are the qualifications. That's a different beast. Goes beyond conscious or unconscious beliefs. It's systemic and it's based upon power. What kind of power? What kind of law? Let's try the U.S. Constitution, where I was deemed 3/5 of a human being. Let's start there. How about the good old GI Bill? Remember that? Let's take New Jersey as an example, where some 60,000 white soldiers received government handouts or VA loans, earned. Should have been big and better, let's be clear. They earned that right. Some 60,000 plus of them. About 50 men who look like me were afforded that opportunity, though we were in the same trench holes with those fellows. That's systemic. 60,000 got it. The beginning of generational wealth for a lot of white families. And it's still happening now. That's power and custom. It's there in the housing and in the law. You know, redlining, financial supports for only stable neighborhoods. So this is what we mean when we refer to systemic racism. I'll give you another example you may not be aware of. You remember this guy, our former president, Donald, what's his name? Trump, yeah. And his father, Fred Trump, and how Fred, hey, Donald, on your way out to pick up a burger, here's a couple $1 million, go start yourself something. Or $1 million or whatever it was. Where did Fred get his money? Where did Fred get his start? Developer, housing guy, right? He got his money selling homes to working class white people in Queens, New York. All subsidized by government handouts. I specifically use that word handouts because it's got a resonant thing that Reagan flipped on people's head in the 80s. So farmers get subsidies. Pharmaceutical companies get subsidies. The military gets subsidies. Ain't Sara and the poor folks on the south side of Chicago, that would be welfare. That ain't no subsidy. We give farmers all kind of subsidies. Fred Trump, people who bought his, subsidized. We don't hear about that. That's what we mean. Number two, second point I want to point out about good old CRT. The dismissal of racial integration as something to be sought for. For a lot of us, it's a code word for cultural genocide. I want to address it the way it's usually put. This is America. This is a melting pot. We got all kind of good folks up in here. More coming every day. Got some Afghan folks just arrived. Melting pot. They're coming together to share values and power based upon the playing down of our differences and the building up of our similarities. Again, for some of us, that code word for cultural genocide. Where am I coming from? Try this. Try, instead of a melting pot, the image of a salad. Where an avocado is an avocado. Yes, this is a salad. A tomato is a tomato. Oh, ain't nothing like that onion. When we put it all together, everyone maintaining their own, you can't beat that salad with a stick. The taste is undaunting. And when you taste it sometimes, something missing. Where's that onion? Who left that onion out? I want that onion in here. So we say, in the words of the Lord, that would be one Audrey Lord. In case y'all get nervous. In case y'all get nervous out there. I heard, oh, Anthony, where he going now? He almost a Baptist already. Audrey Lord says, no. It is not our differences that separate us. 'Tis not. No. What separates you and I is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate the difference. It's not the difference. So, we're going to do a little body thing for me. I want you to take your two fingers, we'll make a little triangle. It's really a rack, because I put, Ron, right there, we shoot billiards there in the Verde Valley Clubhouse. So for some of us, with that little rack, because that's what the acronym stands for, RAC. To recognize, to accept, and my goodness gracious, celebrate the difference. And it's our inability, which tells me it's something that we can be able to do. I don't want to be Mike. Thank you. I ain't never going to be Mike, and it's okay. That's what we're saying. That's the different offering. Yeah. To recognize, accept, kind of contradictory, because we just want to sing Kumbaya and hold hands. We all the same. Yes and no. Because race don't mean nothing. It's irrelevant. And it mean a lot. Can you get that? Yes. So I use that word, and I'm sorry. I have to say a little bit of what CRT is not. It's not what Ted Cruz and his allies are spouting every night. It's not that. That is some form of white backlash, or as I like to say, oh no, here we go again. I know you. I seen you. It was you that bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street. People had the audacity to build hotels and banks, and you bombed them. I know you. Oh, you were after Reconstruction, when African Americans were building up communities and being voted to lead state legislature. Had to go. I know you, calling it critical race theory. No, this is critical race theory. What you're doing, I'm going to call white backlash. White backlash. I know you. I see you. And I'm happy to say a lot of white folks see you too. It's just like the blowback. We're still suffering. This is the blowback from the election of President Barack Obama. How dare he? Oh my God, in fact, it happened twice. Oh my God. So critical race theory is a call to change the whole enchilada. It's kind of like that world in our affirmation. Kind of like that world in that chalice lighting thing I said. It's a call to change the whole enchilada. Yeah? The whole society, I mean, when I say that, I'm going to keep it in the U.S. because racism and multiculturalism outside our borders is another kettle of fish. Now, it's kind of hard to find if you don't look for it because it's masked. It's kind of masked. I was talking to Michael, perfection is one of its attributes, which I always we just throw perfect away. We don't want nothing to do with that. Its other allies are words you're familiar with, like rationalism, balanced, and neutral. Code words for white supremacy. Objective. Excuse me? So you're from this little island, you speak English, and you can judge this objective. But CRT calls that out, takes the mask off of neutral principles of enlightenment, of rationalism, calling for a new way, a new society free of racial oppression, and man, that's scary for some folks. Let's be clear about that. Scary. James Baldwin reminds us that, of course, not everything that is faced can be changed. But nothing can be changed until it is faced. Everybody wants a smooth face. Don't you want a smooth face? No acne, no scars. For a young face culture like ours, we're still in our teenage years. We're only a couple hundred years old. We got a lot of acne on our face. And we're not willing to take the medicine. Some of us are. Take the medicine, the acne medicine. Or if you got a cold, like castor oil. Better take that castor oil. Lest there be no doubt, critical race theory offers a way out for you too. When I say you, I'm speaking to white folks in the audience. Because it's about freeing everyone from oppression. Because as I used to tell my white friends when I started this work, you've been tricked too. We're in the same canoe. Or sometimes I tell myself, we're in the same boat. It's like that Titanic, though. And I always forget his name. Not Johnny Depp, honey. What's his name? DiCaprio's on the bridge. His hair is blowing in the wind. He's looking all just... Same boat. Now, some of us down there in steerage, though. Hiya. We're digging and shoveling. It's same boat. Same boat. Yeah. As an example, because I know I like data. There are more poor white people in the United States than any other group. Any other group. Should be loud and want to get out of that steerage, but which state in the United States do you think has the highest rate of poverty? Give me just a shout. We ain't got to be right. New Hampshire. Oops. Oh boy, yes. By replacing what we call neutral, objective, and balanced, let's replace them. I got a new try on. Authenticity. Authentic. You being you. Whatever that look like. And me being me. Whatever that look like. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be natural. Objective or neutral. Be authentic. That's real CRT. Not the loud, crude, angry, ignorant of the facts, afraid of the truth that we hear on TV. Two kinds of CRT. It's all evidence-based. Personal, lived experience, a.k.a. storytelling. and good old mathematical, factual data. Two evidential pillars of critical race theory. Now, a lot of my friends, some of us like data as our favorite of data story. I like stories. Like the story I tell when I was young, living on the south side of Chicago, and my folks would always have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to take our 13, 14-hour ride to Mississippi. And I don't know, I was maybe 9 or, hey, Dad, what's up with that? Why can't we wake up, and go like late, like 5, 6? I mean, why do we have to go, as they would say, we got to go 4 day in the morning. Got to get up before day ride. Why we got to go 4 day in the morning? Well, Anthony, go like this. In order to arrive in Mississippi in the daylight hours, when it is safe for us to be out, we got to leave 4 day in the morning. That's the story. Yeah. Or when, as a United States Army lieutenant in the Army in the 1980s, I would encounter white soldiers who would refuse to salute me. I should digress. I kind of liked it. Because once I turned around, soldier! Huh? You see these bars or you blind? And I would just point at the ground. I can't, it was fun. Do push-ups till I get tired. But it didn't feel so good. I ain't gonna tell no tale. Some, only some, don't do no blanket. There's some good guys in there too, and gals too. Lived experience. That's just a couple of stories. The other pillar is the data, the factual proof. Data like infant mortality rates on one end. How about life expectancy rates? And the disparities based upon race in our beloved country. So in between infant mortality rates, life expectancy rates, let's look at incarceration rates. I want you to get ready to take a guess too. You know I'm an interactive guy. In state prisons in which the country in which we live, black Americans are blank times the population of white inmates. 5. Somebody did that. You go. 5. Mind-boggling for me. Another story. I witnessed it personally. Again, an Army story. I was on the staff and faculty of the United States Army Command and General Staff College, one of the great institutions of war, and I loved serving there. While I was there, I taught at the United States Disciplinary Barracks, the jail for soldiers, if you will, the USDB. I walked into my first class that had 20 students. One white dude, 19, looked like me, in jail. It was 19-1, I call that day. What's up with that? Infant mortality, life expectancy, incarceration rates. Oh, the other one. How about money? How about wealth? How about wealth? Remember those GI bills that your granddaddy got? And they passed the house on down to your grandfolks, and then you got it, and you're going to pass it on to your son and daughter, rightfully so, and your grandkids already hooked up, rightfully so. Well, as we sit here this morning, the average wealth for the average white family is $171,000. So you can get a judge, are you doing average or way above average? For African Americans, black Americans, it's $17,150. That's systemic. So, there's a new law firm I'm making this up, in Arizona. I call it King, Martin, and Floyd. Being facetious, there ain't no law for them. That stands for Trayvon, George, and Rodney. But it's a call for new law, call to be anti-racist, to beware of systemic racism. There's a call to know that systemic racism is the cause of those disparities that I just laid out. So for me, we could say critical race theory. I gotta look at critical race reality. A reality where there is no such thing, by the way, as a non-racist idea. There's only racist ideas or anti-racist ideas. There is no neutrality. Let us know that a racist idea is one that suggests one racial group is inferior or superior to any other in any way. We don't play no favorites. I'm a Cub fan. Of course, I love them. Love my brothers and sisters. Everybody. Everybody. Remember my earlier reference to the Constitution? That bastion of sacred Americanism? Here's a quote from that document. Quote, the blacks, whether originally a distinct race or not, or made distinct by time and circumstance, are inferior to whites in the endowments of both of body and mind. Who said that? That's something kind of George, David Duke, George Well. No. It was none other than Thomas Jefferson. You remember him. The author of, quote, all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain equal inalienable rights. Him. Same him. This, for me, is an example of the historical and societal depth of work and truth-telling. I didn't make that up. Mr. Jefferson said that. He lived that. He wanted all people like me, when we did get quote-unquote free, get on that boat, go back. He was clear. I ain't mad at him. It's right there. That's what he said. So what can we do? What does our work look like, this truth-telling? Well, I got some suggestions. I'm going to shake some folks up. First one. How about hate speech is illegal? Period. Just like in Germany right now. Both offline and online. You can't be spewing that madness. They say, we're not going there again. Warm up to it. I.e., remember, like shouting fire in a crowded theater? This is like that. Stop gerrymandering right now. And into this winner takes all philosophy of government we have here. Implement a system of ensured political representation for everybody. What a concept. Sounds kind of American to me. Ensuring that all, and then, here we go, the other one, want to start a new department. Now, I know it won't be big as the Defense Department, where we spend $750 billion every year. And we're fighting and killing Joe Biden and those other progressive folks who want to spend $350 billion a year. See, I'm calling for a revolution. That includes the Department of It's like a department. They got a job making sure government officials calling them out for their racist behavior. Ensuring that all laws stop perpetuating the status quo. White supremacy. Now, let me say something about that word in case y'all get a little nervous. There ain't nothing wrong with being white. Of course, got a joke for you. What color is this cloth right here? What color is my shirt? You ever seen anybody this color? You ever seen anybody that color? What's the trick, y'all? What's the trick, y'all? So yeah, I'm calling for a revolution of ideas and of purpose. A reclamation of our country's stated ideals. I just want us to be what we say we are. If you are who you say you are, superstar, then have no fear. So I'm calling for a reclamation of our country's stated ideals and reparations for the harm caused by the abandonment of these ideals. So how do we do this? Wrap this up so I get whistled for going too long. The brilliant Brian Stevenson has a couple of things for us to look at, getting to where we want to go. Number one is get proximate. Get close to whatever you want to change. Get close to it. Get proximate to it. We can't do it from our ivory tower. Have the love. Have the love to want to get close to it. Change the narrative. We must change our narrative from fear and anger to hope. Change the narrative. Third, stay hopeful. We got to stay hopeful. We got to believe that change is possible. The only thing keeps me going. I know it's so ugly, they say. But I know it's going to be all right. Because I believe change is possible. Now, the fourth point, it is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be inconvenient. Every movement in human history worth its salt has those two ingredients. How do you think we get to honor and have such great pleasure, luxury that we do have in our almost perfect, still working on this? You know, we're trying to do something never been done in history of mankind, womankind, personkind, to have a true multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious democracy. It ain't never been done before. So this is, got quite a load here we're working on. It's all right. So it's going to be uncomfortable and inconvenient, like those who got us this far paid the price for. Because it was uncomfortable. And at times very inconvenient. But I say we got to embrace these as rules of the road, or as I like to say, fries come with that shake. If we want that sweet milkshake, some fries going to come with it. That's just the way the order goes. So let's work for this exorcism, if you will, an inside job, I believe, dare I say. Let us build a new way. Expelling unconscious debris from the soil of the soul. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. So please join me, if you would, in a moment of silence. So you and I, all of us, we've been warmed by fires that we did not build. We have drank good water from wells that we did not dig. So in gratitude of our many, many blessings and in recognition of our many needs, this morning's offering for this fellowship will now be received
trying to rain on the thunder. Tell a storm I'm new. I'm a welcome and march on the regular, painting white flags low.
Lord, forgive me, I've been running blind and true. I'ma rain on this bitter love. Tell the sweet I'm new. I'm telling these tears gonna fall away, fall away. Oh,
May the last one burn into flame.
Channel 9 News telling me I'm moving backwards. 8 blocks left, death is around the corner. 7 misleading statements by my persona.
6 headlights waving in my direction. 5-0 asking me what's in my possession. Yeah, I keep running, jumping to aqueducts, fire hydrants, a hazardous smoke alarms on the back of us. But mama don't cry for me, ride for me, try for me, live for me, breathe for me, sing for me. Honestly, guiding me, I could be more than I gotta be. Stole from me, lied to me, nation hypocrisy, cold on me, drop on me, weaken my spirit, inspired me like
open correctional gates in higher desert.
Open our minds as we cast away oppression.
Open the streets and watch our beliefs. And when they call my name inside the concrete, I pray it forever breathe. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I break chains all by myself. When I'm free, yeah. I'ma keep on running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
Freedom, freedom, where are you? Because I need freedom too. Now is a time where we share the joys and concerns of this community. I got to say one quick out loud and on purpose. And that's for that magic lady with that maroon shirt on, sweater on, with that hair hanging down up under her mask. She goes by the name of Susanna Martin. All that music and stuff you be hearing, guess where it comes from? Makes my life, let me tell you how much joy. I have one word for her, awesome. That's just, I say it out loud and on purpose, awesome. So thank you, dear one. Oh, it's just a joy to me. Because you work with a lot of folks, you have to tell them stuff, and then, no! No! Oh, it's such a joy, such a joy. All right, do we have any visitors, folks who have maybe been here for the first time or haven't been here in a while? Could you raise your hand? Yay, welcome. We like it when new folks show up. Yeah. So we want to hear the joys and concerns of the hearts of this community. And I'm not just shared my first couple of joys. So here we've got a couple that were sent in. Please send wishes for a speedy and full recovery to Michelle Snyder, who is in the hospital with a COVID breakthrough and pneumonia. Bless her soul, Michelle Snyder, for sure. Good news, we have a joy. Jeannie Marini was discharged. Yeah. From Haven Health on Saturday. She will have a healthcare worker checking in on her and a woman who cooks for her and Tony. We had a good men's meeting last week too. Nice breakfast. Because I like to get together with men sometime and see what's shaking. Because I know men love bacon. Her daughter is coming, will be arriving at the beginning of November to help, for a couple of weeks to help out with Jeannie. So we're all hoping that Jeannie can manage her walking about and not have any more falls. Yes, we would also acknowledge and wish that to be so. Lastly, we acknowledge those joys and sorrows that were not mentioned here. That were not mentioned. May we acknowledge those as well.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, growing stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free of hate and greed and tyranny. We are working to be free. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, our world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
Hey, that's it. Such a joy. Couple of words in that reading jumped out at me. One of them has been one of my favorite words for a long time. Inextricable. We are inextricably linked. I can't be free without you. You can't be free without me. Inextricably linked. So in the spirit of the Navajo, I see inextricable in front of me. I see inextricable behind me. I see inextricable to the left of me. There she is to the right of me. I see inextricable above me, and I feel Ms. Inextricable below me. So may we go forth with that in our heads and in our hearts, and may peace be with each and every one of you until we are together again. May it be so.